Right, hello. I think it's about time I did my review of the Cnoc water container, and also I'm going to compare it to the Sawyer water container. This isn't the one that originally came with my Sawyer Squeeze Mini. The original one was a lot smaller, but I needed a bigger capacity, so I've got this one. And this one is 64 ounce, which I believe is around about 1.8 litres in capacity. So yeah, it's about time I did this. I've been using the Sawyer bag for quite a while now. I'm taking it on quite a few long trips and stuff. A lot of people I've seen on YouTube have had problems with these bags splitting, but I can honestly say I haven't had any problem with these bags splitting at all. The only problem I've had is trying to fill it, trying to get the water in there. It can be a bit of a pain. I'll show you that in a minute. But other than that, this isn't too bad. Whereas the Cnoc is absolutely ideal because you can take the top off, open it up, and you've got a nice big opening there to get the water into. You can flap it down, fold it down, put the slider back in, and on the other end, that's where you fit your filter to. So a lot better. Also, this is a 2 litre capacity. It's got the markings up the side. It's got the markings in litres and in ounces. So it's 2 litres, so it's a slightly bigger capacity than the Sawyer, but they're pretty much, there's not a lot in it. And for me, because when I'm wild camping anywhere, I like to try and fill up the water container on the way to the camp. So if I'm a couple of miles away, like the last river, the last stream I cross before I get to where I'm camping, that's where I fill these up. And I find that both of these really have got adequate water storage for me, because I think that you're going to get to where I'm going to camp, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. I need enough for, let's say, a coffee or maybe 2, a freeze-dried meal. Then in the morning I'm going to need, using the same amount of water, we're not refilling the bag, but I'm going to need water for, say, something like a porridge and another coffee. You add that all up, it's somewhere around, somewhere up to like 1.4, 1.5 litres. So both these bags holds enough water. And I know that there are other bags on the market, but these are the only 2 that I've had any experience with, so that's why I'm going to compare these 2. Right, I shall show you filling them now. Right, I'm going to try filling the Sawyer Squeeze first. Now I know that I'm doing this in a kitchen sink, and if you're doing it over a stream or river, there will be there will be water flow, which will make it easier. But bearing in mind, when you're on a side of a river or stream, you're quite often kneeling down in the mud or wherever, balancing on a rock or whatever. But trying to get the water in there isn't the easiest. Open up the bottom. You've got to either scoop it, try a scooping technique, which quite often does help, or because I can get both hands in the water here, I could always lower it down and let the water run in. But this does take quite a while. At the moment, I can just see the water's just up to here at the moment. But like I say, in a river, this would be easier because you would have water flow, and obviously your water flow would be flowing straight into the neck. But at the moment, the water's up to there, so you've got quite a long way to go. And trying to get it in there, because of course the water's got to go in there and the air's also got to come out, so it is a bit tricky. I'll put that to one side. Got the Cnoc water bag now. Open it up. Unfold the top. Open it up. You can either hold the top like that, or you can hold it however you like, really like that. That's one scoop. That's 2 scoops. You can see just how much quicker and easier this is. Now, like I say, I know that this is, we are in a kitchen sink here, so there's no water flow. But with water flow flowing straight into the top here, this would be easier as well. So there you go. I won't fill it right to the top, but fold it down, put the slider back on, and there we go. And I can see at the moment I've got just under just around 1.5 litres of liquid in there at the moment. And in the Sawyer one, this is another thing that I don't like about the Sawyer bag. Yes, if you hold it up to the light, you can see where the water line is, but there are no markings on the bag. So it is a little bit of guesswork to how much liquid you've got in there. Because I know now, so where it is, 1.5 litres, that's enough for me for an evening meal, coffee the next morning, and breakfast. So I know I've got enough water in there now to go to camp. That I'm going to have to fill it to the top or somewhere around there and try and guess how much is in there. Like I say, you can see the volume. I suppose what you could do is measure it out in a cup, pour it in and write on the side the markings, but that's the problem I have with this bag. Well, that's another problem I have with this bag. Back onto the Cnoc one again. Now some people have had problems with the slider on the top, water leaking out from the sides here. Now I can't say that I've had any problem with that. I've got problems with the bottom bit here. Right, I'll show you how to put the filter on now. First the Sawyer bag, and the good thing about the Sawyer bag is the bottom does open up, so it will stand up on its own, where the Cnoc one won't. But putting the filter on the top, because you've got a nice solid bit of plastic on the top here, and this plastic is very solid. Squeezing it, you can't deform the plastic there at all. It's nice solid plastic. Put the water filter, the filter on. You've got a nice bit of plastic underneath here to grab hold of, so you can just nick it tight. And that's on. No leakage at all. Is on solid. That's ideal. That's how it should be. So I'll take it off there. Take my filter off there. Put the lid back on. Now I'll try with the Cnoc bag. Now this one here, take that off. Trying to do the same thing. Because the plastic here is so flimsy, if I have, hopefully you'll be able to see this, it's very easy, with hardly any effort at all, to deform the plastic. And if you can see, it's now gone to like an oval shape from round. It's very easy to do that. So if you're trying to put the filter on, yeah, it's very easy for that to happen, where it's not gone on straight. It's like a bit cross-threaded. So now there's a leak there, and if I squeeze it, a whole load of water comes out. But what I found, the better way of putting the filter on, hold it like that, so you've got your fingers underneath the top. That way it keeps the top there round, like it should be, so it's not the plastic's not being deformed. And then when you screw this on, it's now on square, well, it's now on tight and as it should be. So now, no drips. But that's a bit of a pain, that is, on this one. It's a bit of a pain. Right then, just to finish up, I'm going to keep on using the Cnoc water container. I'm not going to bother with the Sawyer one. It's mainly because the Cnoc one, it's so much easier to fill it, and to me that's a big plus on that one. Also, what I do like is it's a lot easier to see exactly how much water's in there, because you've got the markings up the side. Whereas the Sawyer one, you've kind of got to, you can see it, hold it up to the light, you can see the water level, but you've kind of got to guess how much water you've got in there. So for that reason, I am going to stick with the Cnoc, even though it does have the issues. Like I say, the issues with the top slider, some people have had problems with when it's full of liquid, put the top slider on, they've had problems with water leakage. I haven't had that problem, but I know a lot of people have. And also the issue with the bottom. Now obviously this is a problem I have got, where the plastic is so flimsy down the bottom here that it's easy to deform it. But even that, bearing in mind those two things, I'm still going to stick with this. Now on the Cnoc website, I've now they've updated both the slider and the bottom, and if I look at the slider, for instance, they updated the slider March this year. So hopefully, if you order one, you'll get the updated version. And also the bottom bit here, they've stiffened the plastic around the bottom, the base, and the thread, so it shouldn't hopefully deform. And they updated that in May of this year. So hopefully you've got if you order one now, you get the new updated version. They also now do it in two colours. They do it this colour, and they also do it with a blue cap, blue top. And I believe the blue ones are all the new version, all the new better design and everything. So this is definitely the old design, because I pre-ordered this one before they were on the market. So I know that this is one of the first ones out. That's why I've got the issue with the bottom there. So I'll leave links in the description to where you can get this to the website. I also leave description to where you can get the Sawyer squeeze bag and also the filter. So thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the description down below. Do all the usual, subscribe, like, hit the bell, and hopefully I'll see you back out again sometime. Bye.